Hi everybody, this is Mike, and today I have Conrad de la Torre with me. And
Hello.
Today what we want to talk about, Conrad, is the differentiation in sizes that we're seeing on the tree, right? So it's a little bit early to maybe talk about yields, but I think what we've really been hearing a lot about is, why are some nuts looking really mature and big, and why are some nuts still not pushing out of that jacket, and kind of what does that mean and why?
Well, normally on a normal year, you have everything come at bloom all at once, right? Within
Right.
a certain period of time. I think this year, because the weather was cold and it just came in 3 different stages, is what I myself experienced. Is you had the first bloom, second bloom, and then the last bloom. And if you can see, there's still a few petals here and there on all this stuff, but the bloom is pretty much done. So what we're going to talk about is just, that late bloom or that middle bloom, and see if that's set. I think your first bloom, you can obviously see it's coming out of the jackets already.
Right, you can see one
Right.
here, right?
So here's a good example where you see this one right here is already coming out of the jackets, and then you have all these in the background, which you don't know if they're going to set or not. I mean, if you look at this tree itself, you say, my gosh, we're going to have a great set. But let's talk about this, okay? So the minute you start touching this, you can see they're going to fall off. Okay, that's falling off. That's going to stay. This is going to fall off. That's going to fall off. A lot of these, because they bloom late, they're still looking pretty firm on there. So I'm not putting, see, that one's falling off. I'm not putting much pressure on. I mean, the ones that are going to fall off are going to fall off.
Yeah.
The ones that are not are going to stick there a little longer. I still believe, even if I can't knock that one off, it's going to fall off.
So really what we're saying is we think that these more mature looking almonds are probably going to be what's going to set your crop. And all of these little ones that really haven't yet pushed the jacket are probably not going to make it to harvest.
Not going to make it. No,
Okay.
they will not make it. I believe right now, if you were going to evaluate anything, it's the stuff out of the jacket or coming out of the jacket at this point. Anything behind that, it's done.
Okay, so really looks can be deceiving at this point. It is still early to really be able to talk about real crop potential, maybe. I mean,
Yes.
maybe you can talk about crop potential, but I think when we come and look at these trees right now, it's really hard to be able to say that what is on the tree is going to stay on the tree. Because normally you'd also have a natural drop in June or sometime around then, right?
Well, you'll have a natural drop in what they call the June drop.
Yeah.
And, of course, we won't know until we get there. Usually it could be defined, the June drop can be because the tree's just got more crop than it can hold,
Right.
and you're going to have that natural drop, or you have some almonds that didn't get fully pollinated that are eventually going to drop, and you're still going to have a little bit of that. Whether we have as much as we've had in the past on a really good yield year,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to see that as much.
So this again, kind of coming back to the beginning, this sizing differential really is abnormal due to weather,
Very
prolonged bloom,
Right.
cold temperatures, and really limited bee flight hours.
I believe so. All that has a lot to do with it. And, some of these varieties that bloom later, they probably had a little better chance of getting pollinated.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's still a little early to try to evaluate it. If you go by the set that you have coming out of the jacket, it's iffy.
It looks disappointing.
Right.
I would
That's
think.
disappointing,
Yeah. Okay. So anything else you kind of want to add to this at all?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's just, this is going to be a really year to learn from, right? We've seen things that I personally have never seen before. Trying to evaluate it. Yeah, I was out in some areas yesterday that look, much further ahead, and you can already see what's there. And so give me another 10 days and we'll let you know.
How far behind do you think we are in the maturation of
We're going to be, I think we're going to be a couple of weeks behind.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
I mean, it's just been so cold. I think it's been almost 6 weeks from bloom.
Right, we're now at the end of
Right.
March. It's still cold and wet.
Right.
The forecast now looks like we're going to dry out a little bit, maybe warm up a tad. So maybe you'll see this start to maybe gain a little bit momentum.
Things, yeah, you even look at this growth on these. Normally, these little shoots will be out here about an inch or two, and
Yeah.
you can see they're really far behind.
Right.
So we need some sunlight.
Yeah.
Sunlight will make everything be awake.
All right, well,
Give me better color.
yeah. All right, well, that's been Mike and Conrad talking about your almonds today.
Thank you.